Hi Soul Fam, welcome back to this channel where we do tarot card readings every Monday. We are in a different space. I am at my parents' house today because I am a little bit under the weather, and so I am trying to stay, heartbreaking, but trying to stay away from my baby and my husband so that no one else gets it, and it just stops here, which explains this. I don't know if I look differently on camera. I usually have a little bit of makeup on. I do not have anything on today, and again, different background because we're here at my parents. So thank you for accepting me as I am in all the ways of being human. But let's dive into our tarot card reading for this week. If you don't know, this is the Four Noble Tarot deck. It looks like my child was playing with these cards because they are all not in the right order or in the right way of facing. So let me just triple check that the rest are good. Yep, okay, beautiful. Four Noble Tarot deck. I created this deck a little while ago. It comes with the drawer style box that you saw, as well as the guidebook, which has tarot card spread templates and descriptions, of course, for every single card. When you purchase this tarot card deck, you always also get my intro to tarot course, which teaches you how to read the cards intuitively, as I do here. Let's go ahead. Oh, link to do that, description box below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Sorry, I'm a little brain foggy. Subscribe to this channel and like this video. If and when something resonates with you, share with a friend who you think would receive from it. All right, let's dive in. Working in the light and the highest for everyone here's greatest good and deepest understanding at this time. Keeping my energy on, cleansed and protected, and theirs as well. Welcoming in my spiritual team and everyone who is here, welcoming their team forward. All right, what do we need to know this week? Last week was very much focused on the physical body. Let's see where we're going this week. Here we go. Okay, single card and two cards. I should have grabbed a tissue before we begin. If I have to run and grab one, apologies. We're very raw today. Okay, so first card, what to know, what to do, where to focus, etc. this week. Okay, not a new card. Very interesting. You know what I love about this? I'm going to read this in a second, but for this group, I know a lot of you are here every week. And sometimes my ego space, my humanness, my, inner critic is like, Frances, you keep pulling the same cards. I'm like, wait, this isn't me. Like, I'm pulling them, but like we are getting the same messages. Number one, why this is happening, and I know some of you have heard me say this, but why this is happening is because Spirit, we're going week by week, right? We're not pulling a card and then being like, okay, and how is this, like, how can I implement this in my life over the next 3 months, 6 months? Of course, that is the goal. But the reason these cards keep coming up is because Spirit is giving us time to implement action, because we can't change everything in 1 week, right? We need time to put into practice, or sometimes we forget and we're like, oh shoot, I didn't do that last week. Okay, let's try again this week. So whenever we get repeat cards, sometimes of course the message changes a little bit, which was going to be like my number 2 statement. Like the message changes slightly week to week, just based on the energy, based on what's going on in your life. But again, it's really about giving us grace and time and patience to implement the action that is coming through this guidance. Okay, so with that said, 10 of Swords. Hello, 10 of Swords. We have Eclipse season coming up. Is that this week? Is that the 22nd this week? Yeah, it is. I believe Sunday, the 22nd, we have our eclipse. 10 of Swords. This is the card of letting go. Eclipses are a great time to release, to burn off, to kill, to let die. So, if you have been doing this work, amazing. This is like that last burst of like kill it energy. If you haven't yet, this is a great week to do this. Some ways that you can practice like a letting go ritual or a releasing ritual. You can write things down that you want to let go and like rip up the paper or burn it safely, of course. You can, and then like shed the ashes, into nature or into water, whatever works for you. But really, 10 of Swords, we've spoken about this guidance before, but this week it's kind of short and sweet. Like it's really about if it is not serving, it either needs to change, i.e., or it needs to go. No matter what, the way that it stands now is dead. Okay, so I'm not saying that you need to like cut things off in your life that aren't working. I really want to be clear about that, because sometimes I think Ten of Swords energy or like releasing rituals, I think they're misconstrued as in like, you need to get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Sometimes it's not getting rid of it completely. Sometimes it's changing the way that it is currently to be something that works better for you. And in that, you have killed off the old way or the way that things don't work, and you are creating a new way of doing things. So there still is that rebirth energy of the thing that already exists, but we're doing it in a way that is more aligned and more effective and more like right for you. Okay, so this week I want you thinking about what needs to change or what needs to be let go completely. If we think about this in a like more human sense, imagine this like a house, okay? If you're redecorating or you're remodeling or something like that, what furniture do you want to keep exactly where it is, as it is? What furniture do you want to keep, but maybe it's going to go in a different area of your house, or it needs to be cleaned or sanded or refurnished, something like that. So we're adjusting it, we're changing it, but we are still keeping it, but we're making it fit the space better. And what furniture are we donating? What furniture is leaving the house completely? So you can, even if you want to do this like in columns, right? What am I keeping? What am I changing? What am I getting rid of? That is how we're going to work with Ten of Swords energy. The column of what am I getting rid of, that's where you're going to perform a releasing ritual if you want to. You do not have to, but if you want to. This could be writing down a habit or a mindset or a thing, like a person, even a relationship. And I know those ones are hard, but writing it down and burning it, or having the conversation to end it, quitting the job, again, responsibly, and really have thought it through and felt that through. Again, relationships, walking away from those, having the hard conversations. Like, this is the week we're not really like manifesting new stuff. We're clearing out space of the old stuff so that when it is time to manifest, we have the space and the energy to do that. Okay, so this is the week to clear out and or reorganize, rearrange, or adjust the things that aren't working, but it is going to take some introspection and some time to actually sit down and look at that in all areas of life. And this is in all areas of life, okay? To start, closing your eyes, hands on the heart, or one on the heart and one on the belly. What doesn't feel right now? What is misaligned right now? What needs my attention right now? It's gonna come up for you, whether it's your schedule, again, a relationship, a habit, a mindset. They could be super like simple things, but it's time to start, again, clearing those things out with this energy that we have in the air, in the universe, in the ethers this week. It's like final push of get it gone or get it changed so that in time we can have the rebirth. We are making space for what's to come, okay? Let me know if you have questions on that. Okay. All right, so that's part one. Part two, we have two cards here. First card is, oh, hello. Okay, Judgment. Judgment is our first card. So this is the card, it's like pretty point blank, right? It is about judgment. So places to ask yourself questions, some introspection this week. Where am I judging others? Where am I being, this is important. Oftentimes this card comes in with self-judgment. We're gonna get to that in a second, but this week, we need to be honest with maybe where we are not holding grace or kindness for other people and what they're going through. What's coming through with this judgment card is so many of us have such a desperation, yes, that word, desperation, to feel seen, to feel valued, to feel connected, to feel, purposeful, appreciated, whatever the word is for you, but those are like some big ones that a lot of us are feeling right now. We're just desperate to feel that from other people. I know we can give it to ourselves, and again, we'll come back to that in a second, which is very important, but we're really, a lot of us, feeling that we want this from others. But how it's manifesting in our lives is we are judging them. You are not awake and aware. You do not have the emotional capacity. You are not being empathetic. You are not seeing me. You are not good enough. You haven't done your work. You. Now, while all of that may be true, maybe it is something that the other person hasn't done or the other person isn't seeing. We are being asked to have empathy for why they're not seeing that. Now, does it mean that it's okay that they are making you feel a certain way? Of course not. That needs to be a conversation. Maybe that's part of your 10 of Swords energy here. And there's probably stuff going on. Like maybe the other person really wants to be there for you, but like they literally don't know how to. Even though you've explained it a million times, maybe they're so uncomfortable going there emotionally that like they feel like they can't. Okay, so maybe the way for you to get what you want, feeling seen, appreciated, heard, etc., is to not attack, not to judge. You're just so behind in your emotional development, but rather to be like, wow, you were never taught these skills. Like that must be really hard for you, honestly. Like I'm sorry for you that you were never taught that. Maybe this is something that we can learn together. Let's focus on the core issue here, which is you don't have the emotional intelligence. I'm not saying that as a judgment. I am saying that as a fact. Do I want to be the one to teach you that? Not really, but I also want to get what I want. So like, let's chat about that. Okay. So essentially this judgment card is coming in to be like, I know that you feel less than. I know that you feel like I'm not enough for this person to show up, or I'm not enough to be seen and considered for this raise. Like why am I just not good enough? Like am I not enough for you to just see me, for you to just appreciate me? Here I am killing myself, trying to do all this stuff, trying to get everything done, trying to do all this stuff. And like, what more could I possibly do for you to show up for me, for you to give me that raise, for you to understand what I'm going through, for you to say thank you, for you to whatever it is. That's the self-judgment piece. And then we're like, well, screw you. Like, you're this. And then we're judging out here. No one is happy in this situation. This is not a productive energy. So the guidance this week is I am enough to have what I want. I am worthy of receiving all of those feelings that I'm so desperate to receive. But I have to stop throwing daggers. I have to lay my sword down, and I have to show up in vulnerability in this state and be like, okay. Number 2, hang on, the mirror. Like, look at this mirror here. Showing up and being like, what you are giving me is mirroring to me the wounds or the emptiness in myself that I need from you. I need to look at those places and heal those as best I can and communicate to you what you need and maybe help you get there or encourage you to get the help, be it from a therapist, a healer, or whatever it may be. Encourage you to do whatever you need to do so that we can both meet in this place and be like, oh, okay, now we can fuse together again. We can have that connection. Is this going to be easy? Absolutely not. This is probably going to be super uncomfortable. This might be like really scary to do. This might feel really overwhelming. And for some of you, it might be easier. You can be like, oh yeah, I totally see that in them. Like, shoot, I haven't really been giving grace to them. Like, I'm gonna offer some support there and some compassion there. And then I know that we're going to be able to reconnect. And for some of you, this might be a larger thing where you're like, there's some deep stuff that needs to happen here. How you want to move through that, that's up to you. But the guidance in how to move through this is one step at a time. Knight of Wands. We can't expect overnight change. What's so funny about this is I've been seeing a lot of this in my life, and I've had a lot of clients lately come to me with situations like this in their relationships, their romantic partnerships, and that's where it's been showing up for me as well. But for you, this could be in work, in friendships, roommate situations, family, parents, kids. Like, there could be a lot of ways that this is showing up. But always the guidance from Spirit is we can't expect the change overnight. They even alluded to that earlier on, which is why we're getting these repeat cards, right? It's like we need to give ourselves grace and time. I call this Amazon Prime mentality, where we think everything has to be so immediate. We have this Amazon Prime mentality where we get now same day delivery. Like, do you want it this afternoon? And it's like, that is so wild that we're getting into this like immediate gratification. We no longer know how to be comfortable with delayed gratification because everything is so quick. We get dopamine hits from our phones. We get dopamine hits from TV. We get, again, like immediate delivery, like same day delivery or next day delivery. And so we get these things really quickly. So when it comes to personal development, we forget that it takes so much time and it is cyclical. We are going to revert back to old habits. They are going to revert back to old habits. That's where the work comes in, and that's where the grace comes in. Because if we judge people for going backwards or ourselves for going backwards, we just get in our own way and we start spiraling down, right? Inner critic says, I can't believe you're here again, Frances. How could you have allowed yourself to X, Y, Z? And then I'm like, yeah, you're the worst. You're the worst. Why are you even trying? You may as well just stop trying. That's not helpful. Right? Instead, we need to be like, okay, I see that pattern, but hey, I'm really proud of myself for recognizing that. That's new. Yay. You recognize that? We're going to give ourselves grace. Yeah, I recognize that that's a pattern. Should we have reverted backwards? No. Is that human nature? Absolutely. Okay, we can let it go now and let's move on. Now, what are we doing? What are my action steps forward? My manageable, accessible action steps forward. Not, I'm going to completely change everything. I'm not going to completely redecorate my entire house in one day. No, that's not going to happen. We got to shop, we have to measure, we have to try, we have to, get a friend's opinion. We have to do all these different things to make sure that it's exactly what we want. Sometimes we order something and we're like, oh shoot, that doesn't fit. Okay, return. Let's try again. So we give ourselves grace and patience and a one step at a time process in so many other areas except for personal development, both with ourselves and the accountability and the expectations we place on other people. And so this week, what's coming through is step by step and hold grace and patience for yourself and others. Ultimately, big picture, this card is asking you to check your judgment. Where am I being too judgmental out here that I need to reframe? What is that mirroring back to me in myself? For example, if I feel some kind of way when I see someone traveling in Europe on Instagram and I'm like, oh, screw that girl. Like no, that's judgment. That is telling you something. Is it telling you that you want to go travel in Europe? Jealousy sometimes is actually informative of what we actually want. So when we find ourselves judging others, let's see what that's triggering, right? So number one, where am I judging others and how can I share kindness there? Number two, where am I judging others that's actually showing me, mirroring to me what I need to check in with on myself? And number three, where am I judging myself where it is really unfair to be judging myself so harshly? Where can I just accept where I am and then make my action steps one step at a time to move forward? Okay? So this week, we are really focusing on what needs to go and what needs to be shifted and altered and understood with grace and patience. Because we have a lot of manifestation energy coming, but not right now. Right now is kind of the clearing out all the nitty-gritty to make space for what we do want to be born, what we do want to create from a place of patience, love, kindness, compassion, connection, value, worthiness, love, joy, excitement, passion, all the things. Okay? Okay. So let me know if you have any questions on that. Please feel free to share how this resonated with you in the comments. I would love to hear. If anyone needs some more action steps or examples of release rituals or how to work with their partners or coworkers or bosses or roommates or whatever it is, please feel free to share that in the comments as well. If you feel called to donate to what I call the love jar, I will leave my PayPal donation link in the description box below. Thank you for every single penny that comes my way. I'm so grateful. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share with a friend. I'm sending so much love, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.